My name is Jillian Perrick, but my friends call me Jill. I'm a lover of all things orange chocolate. Think One Tree Hill is way better than the OC. And as a person who stutters, I strive to empower women with invisible disabilities to go after their dreams, just like I did. I'm a mindset coach specializing in imposter syndrome, helping women overcome their inner imposter with my master's in psychology and my certification in neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, EFT tapping, and time techniques. And this is the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. This podcast is for you if you're an entrepreneurial woman trying to navigate the online space with a lot of passion and a lot of uncertainty. If you feel like your ideas are unoriginal, that your message isn't necessary or important, or like you're a complete and total fraud, then you've come to the right place. This podcast will take you from imposter to empowered with ninja-like brain hacks, easy to implement strategies, and uplifting real talk to make you feel like everything you want is in reach. Find me on Instagram at YourCoachJill to let me know how much you loved this episode once you're done listening. Time to kick that inner imposter to the curb. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. So this episode is going to be a quickie, but I first want to tell you about my course, the From Imposter to Empowered course. And this is the signature framework, find and defeat, that I use with all of my clients to help them move through the limiting beliefs that are holding them back from really achieving what they want, whether that's in their personal life or in business. I know firsthand how it feels to want to achieve something, whether again that was in my personal life or in my business, and just having all these beliefs about myself and beliefs about the world around me and what I could achieve, and not really knowing what I needed to do in order to move past those beliefs, and also not always having the resources to pay out of pocket for a coach. So that is why I created the From Imposter to Empowered course. It again takes you through my signature framework of find and defeat to help you uncover those stories and those persistent beliefs that are coming up for you, release them, rewrite them, and move into a new version of yourself. And you will just feel so amazing as you go through this course, and it will feel so good to uncover some of the things that you need to move forward in your life and or your business. And I really do believe that whatever we take from our personal life, we bring into our business and vice versa. So it's just an all over holistic type of feel when it comes to the From Imposter to Empowered course. So that is going to be at the link in my show notes. And because you are a podcast listener, you get 15% off with the coupon code FITE podcast. Again, you get 15% off with the coupon code FITE podcast if you click the link in my show notes and use that coupon code and buy the course. And I'm so excited for you to get that. So today's podcast episode is going to be super short and sweet. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I do my routines in the morning and the evening, and what didn't I like? How can I go into tomorrow being the best version of myself? It's just the little things that it starts to change, and you actually realize how big of an effect it has on you. And not even that, but I've also noticed that when I fall off the wagon with my routines, I feel super off. Like I'm a lot more reactive in how I speak to people and my emotions. I'm not processing things properly. So usually during my routines, I'll journal and I'll get out something that I may be thinking in my head that includes negative emotions or stuff that we're holding in. And when you let it out, it's actually surprising how much relief it brings you. So routines for me have also really helped me overcome my inner imposter, just because I have really realized how important the consistency is when it comes to doing this work on yourself. So the thing is, when it comes to overcoming your imposter syndrome, it's not as simple as just like, oh, I'm just gonna write a couple affirmations and feel really good about that. Instead, it's really about uncovering those beliefs that contribute to your imposter syndrome, like stuff from childhood or past informed experiences or societal or cultural norms. Whatever it is that is contributing as to why you feel like a fraud or why you feel like an imposter, that stuff's not easy to move through. It's not like, okay, snip, snap, like I'm just going to write a couple gratitudes in my journal and feel so good about it. But how it has helped me is I have been able to stay consistent on a routine and also stay on track with my goals. And the more and more it comes into my awareness that I'm working towards goals, I'm tracking my wins, I'm seeing the progress that I'm making, I'm paying attention to the progress that I'm making because I'm journaling about it and I'm thinking about it each day. When I'm visualizing my highest self and seeing all these amazing things that I can achieve, I'm not sitting there worried about the fact if I'm good enough, because I'm occupying my mind with things that are exciting and things that I'm moving towards, and that keeps me grounded and motivated. It's not every day that I get up and do my routine in the morning and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm ready to go, because there are some days where like I don't feel like that. Actually, a lot of days, because working full time sucks, but that's okay. At least I'm still like working from home, so it's all good. But there are days where like I'm not fully in my routine, but still doing it. It gives me a sense of accomplishment, and that I know I'm doing one thing a day at least for me and for my personal development and growth, even if I'm not necessarily working with a mindset coach at that time, which I am right now. But if I'm not doing in-depth work each and every day, this is my work. Like the gratitudes, the journaling, the visualization, the meditation, these are things that I really just see as non-negotiable now, because it keeps me grounded, it keeps me centered, and helps me really move forward when it comes to being excited and motivated about my business. It's really easy to jump straight into work, especially for like if you work full-time. So I still do work full-time, so I could very well just jump into my full-time job, but I leave time in the morning to do my routine, so I'm intentional about the rest of the day. Like I know, okay, so I have to work my job in the day, and then in the evening I have a couple of calls, I have some client calls, I have this and I have that. I am already mentally preparing myself and being on the offense instead of the defense. I'm preparing myself to move forward in my day and be excited about my calls and just stay on track with everything that I'm accomplishing. Another cool thing about doing the routines and staying consistent with it is if journaling is a part of it, then you are able to go back and look at your journals and see all the thoughts you had and all the things you were thinking and the stuff that seemed so big at the time that now don't seem like a big deal at all, because you know that you've just been growing and changing and evolving and moving forward. And now you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I worried about that in my business 8 weeks ago or something, and now it's so much better. So that's something that I really like about journaling, is that like I'm able to look back and see how far I've come. And just like the tip that I give everybody when it comes to overcoming your inner imposter is to like track your wins. So have that accomplishment journal and have like a celebration ritual for your wins. Like really celebrate yourself and also track your wins. So when you're not feeling that great, you can go back and look at all your accomplishments and be like, wow, this is great. It's kind of like having an album in your phone with like screenshots of testimonials and going back and like reading that stuff and being like, oh my God, yeah, I feel so fucking good about myself after I just felt like shit. It's kind of like that when it comes to like the journaling. It's like going back to your true self in terms of that consistency in the morning, and just like, even if it's not right when you wake up, if you want to just jump into work because you feel productive, and then in the afternoon you do your routine, or in the evening you have a really nice routine, honestly, I really do see it as a non-negotiable, because it's something for you and it's something to kind of like expand your mind into creativity. A lot of the time, if you suffer with imposter syndrome, your brain is like go 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 all the time. You're always thinking about what you have to do, and when you don't leave that intentional space for your brain to just slow down and be, it's really hard to be creative. And creativity is a big deal when it comes to our entrepreneurial process. Like you have to be creative in order to think of post ideas or story ideas, or for your next program or whatever you're doing. There needs to be an element of creativity there, and if you are not leaving the space for your brain to have that, it's going to be really hard. I get some of my most intuitive hits during my meditation, or when I'm journaling or whatever. I'll get really good ideas and I just like let them flow. And it's just time for you. And again, how it helps you overcome that inner imposter is that like she can't beat you when it comes to if you're consistent on affirming to yourself that you're going to be okay and that you're working towards an amazing end result. And what I mean by that is if you don't affirm that stuff to yourself every day, if you don't journal on your goals and stay focused and motivated, that inner imposter voice will get stronger and stronger because you don't know where you're going. It's kind of like if you're driving and you don't have a destination. Like, have you ever gotten in the car and just been like driving around not knowing where you're going? You feel super aimless. You feel like time is going by so slow. The same thing goes for your business. Like, you have to kind of have an idea of where you're going, because if you don't, your inner imposter is going to be like, well, you don't even know what you're doing. Stuff isn't working. Things are so hard. But your routines keep you grounded and centered in yourself, and you always have something to fall back on in terms of affirmations to keep you positive, in terms of EFT tapping to help move out that negative energy, in terms of meditation and visualization to help you like really see the future and see yourself in that future achieving stuff, so it gets you excited and motivated. Even just journaling out like gratitudes and getting into the vibration of gratitude is an amazing thing to do in the morning. I have a gratitude meditation in the energy management bundle, and that's only $33 at the link in my show notes if you want to snag that. But people have said to me how amazing things have happened after listening to that meditation, because they get themselves in the vibration of gratitude and then they start their day like that, and then they feel so good and so inspired and so excited. And that is just simply by listening to a meditation and getting your brain on board with where you're going. And again, imposter syndrome really loves to be vague and arbitrary. It loves when you don't know where you're going, because then it's just like, well, I guess you really aren't working towards your goals because you have no idea what you're even doing with your business and blah, blah, blah. But having something consistent like a routine makes you feel a lot more on track, because the brain loves predictability. It loves consistency. So if you just have that one thing in the day that you know, okay, I sit down, I do a 5-minute meditation, I journal a little bit, and then I can start my day knowing that like I have that routine. It's a sense of accomplishment. And then you'll start to expand on your routine. You'll start writing down more affirmations, or you'll start saying to yourself like, this is my goal for the next 6 months. And then you'll start brainstorming automatically how you can achieve that goal. Like, really cool things happen when you start committing to a habit and start forming that consistent habit, because you're being productive, you're accomplishing something, and your inner imposter can't stand that. She wants you to be vague and arbitrary and not know where you're going. She wants you to be kind of scattered and be like, well, I feel like nothing is working, but your routines are for you. And when you start making that a consistent thing and you start realizing how many great ideas you get and the ambition that you have and the goals you start to set for yourself, and you're achieving them and the progress that you've made, and then you can flip back in your journal and be like, wow, like I really did achieve all the things that I wanted to achieve. But it's hard to really think that because a lot of the time we're not tracking that stuff. So long story long, routines have really helped me overcome my inner imposter this past year in 2020, because it helped me stay consistent, helped me stay motivated, kept me doing the work, doing the like mindset, personal development work, even if it wasn't the top of my priority at the time. It was something that I was doing for me each and every day. And I actually started to get more creative. I started to feel more relaxed, feel calmer in the beginning of the day. And because it helped me be on the offense instead of the defense. So instead of being like on the defense with my thoughts and being like, you're not doing enough, you're not accomplishing enough, whatever, I would be setting my goals in the beginning of my morning routine and doing my visualization, seeing future me succeeding and doing all these amazing things, and then opening my eyes at the end of it and being like, yes, I'm working towards that. And it's just a feel good type of thing. I would do EFT tapping to flush out, again, any negative emotions, or I would journal and be like, this is how I'm feeling today. And I would be able to release a negative emotion simply just by journaling it out and acknowledging it and realizing, oh, like, I don't have to feel this way. This is just an emotion that's moving through my body. Like, even just something as simple as that. Like, I really was able to check in with myself and stay grounded in where I was going, where I was headed, what I had left to accomplish, and then be able to look back and see all the things that I have accomplished And yeah, it's just a really great way to help you stay on track and consistent and motivated. And that's what the brain loves. The brain loves that shit, loves routines. So do yourself a favor in 2021, start up a good old morning routine. Again, for me, I don't remember if I told you guys this, but my routine is I meditate for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long I can go. Usually it's like a guided one. I've recently been listening to my own, so that's been kind of cool. I do some EFT tapping if I'm really feeling like I need to flush out some negative energy. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm doing some journaling, and I'm journaling out like 20 gratitudes. I am grateful for whatever. I am grateful for whatever. And I do that about 20 times. And then I future pace my next goal. So I'll say, I am so happy and grateful that it is this date and I have achieved this. And what else do I do? And then I'll maybe do some like visualization in terms of like that next goal coming into my reality and how I would feel and the things I would see and etc. And there you go. And I've gotten it down to about 20 to 25 minutes. But if you only have a short time, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you're doing something for yourself, whether that's a couple minutes of meditation or just a couple minutes of journaling, just to recenter and ground yourself and affirm that you are working towards your goals, then you can't go wrong. That inner imposter will not know what hit her if you are consistent with your routines and staying on top of your goals and your own personal development, because you're always growing and you're always learning. So this actually turned into a much longer episode than I intended, but I hope you guys loved it. Screenshot this episode and tag me at your Coach Jill on Instagram if you liked it, and I will talk to you guys later. Don't forget about the From Imposter to Empowered course, where you get 15% off. This course will help you overcome your limiting beliefs surrounding your own imposter syndrome and help you become the person that you've always wanted to be and achieve everything that you want. And you can use the coupon code FITE podcast for 15% off at the link in my show notes for that course. Talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Leave a review so I can continue to make amazing free content for you guys. And speaking of free content, you can go to the link in my show notes and download my free 30-day journaling prompt workbook to help you overcome your inner imposter and attract the abundance you deserve. And finally, screenshot this episode and share it to your Instagram story, tagging me at your Coach Jill so I can share it on my page. See you next time.